Howdy, welcome back to RC Restomod. Today we're going to complete the assembly of the backyard basher. I tell you what guys, when you when you get the back end of a Traxxas two-wheel drive put together, you're like between 2/3 and 3/4 of the way done. All the hard stuff is already accomplished. It's easy and fast from there. So I'll put this video together. Hopefully it'll be a little shorter than the one I put up last night. And I hope you enjoy, maybe learn a thing or two. And you'll get to see a completed chassis and you'll get to see it running, but it'll be without the body because we're going to save that for the next episode. A little test and tune action to show you how cool this thing is, because it is. I'm pretty proud of it. Anyway, y'all have a great day and enjoy the episode. Okay guys, let's see, I finished building this part and then we had a bit of a delay because I had to go get some parts, and then after I went and got parts, it got late and I took my wife out to dinner and we kind of hung out, and then we had a full day of racing at our little off-road track that our RC club has on Saturday, and then Sunday we tore it down with the skid steer to get ready for we're hosting an RC Pro Series race, and we've had the same track for a couple of years and it was time to redo it. So anyway, the back half of the car is just about done. We were building that with the instructions from the assembly manual. You don't always have an assembly manual, so I'm going to put the front together without the aid of the step-by-step instructions. We're just going to use the exploded view that's provided in a manual. So, and my dogs are going to bark about something going on out in the front yard because obviously it's more important than my YouTube video. So, there is our exploded view of the front end. We'll set the chassis plate off to one side. We'll set the completed rear section off to one side. And we'll build the front end real quick. So, let's see, where shall we begin? It's a little tougher. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up with that piece of plastic. And let's see. One of the first things that goes on is our steering bell crank assembly. And if we look real carefully, these pieces are different. See that arm right there? That's what your steering servo ties to that causes the car to turn. Looks like they're supposed to have two washers under them. Let's look. Oh, with that we had our washers rode through the ultrasonic cleaner. They're very clean, but they're still in place. So we have two washers on both sides, so I don't have to worry about that. But this is a place, and you can see where the plastic has changed because of the steering on there with the grit from the dust that's gotten in it. So let's put just smear a little grease on there so it will turn smoothly. All right, so we got a little grease smeared on. Obviously you can't feel it through a video, but I'm telling you, it's much smoother. Let's see. Turn that way. Turning things upside down and backwards and all that can be kind of confusing, so bear with me. And okay, that one goes like that. That one goes like that. Then over the top, we have some, I know it's going to be difficult for you to see, but I look really closely. I can see socket-headed screws, and there's a number beside it. It says it's 2557, which is a 3 by 30 millimeter. I can tell by the picture and by the description that it's a socket head screw. So we're going to need 2 of those, and then it goes through a little bitty washer. So let's find that little bitty washer. So there's a screw with a little bitty washer on it. We'll drop it in there. So we'll put that in place. All right, now let's take our 2.5 and we'll run those down. See that? I over tightened it and that locked that down. So we're going to back it off until it spins freely. As soon as you start feeling it drag the least little bit, stop tightening these. All right, that's perfect. It's very, very smooth. And that should leave our car turning very well. Now I kind of look around. We've got a little link that connects the 2 pieces of steering together that's going to go down there. And looks like it's supposed to have 2 of those little bitty washers underneath it. And then 2 special screws. There's no description given for special screws. I remember what those look like from taking it apart. And it's those right there. Now let's see if we can find the 2 little tiny washers. Okay, there's our little white piece. And it's going to be tied on like that with the washer underneath it. And it screws into, if we follow the little line over, they screw into the inside holes. And that little washer is a pain in the butt, which is why it's frequently missing if anybody's worked on your car before. Once again, we got to leave that loose. Do not over tighten it. Super smooth. We have our front shock tower, and I accidentally put one of them on first, put one part of it together first. So that's how that goes. Now, we'll put the other arm on. Grip it like that, and take the pin and push it on. Then take right there and give it a squeeze. Oh. Lucky we have extras. Never done that before. Okay. That's how that goes on. Okay. Take this part, and we're going to push it through from the back. We're going to take our other C-clip. We had to put something there to hold the arm up high enough to keep the little groove in the end of the pin exposed. So let's do that. We'll take our pliers and give it a all right, that is on properly. We have that. All right, now that we have that together, these links look like a next logical thing to put together. All right, the camber links go on, and it shows to have a nut on the back side. We need a 3x15. That's where that goes. So okay, now let's see what goes right there. So it's a 3x18, and it gets That's the ball. And it goes through and it does get a nut. So a 3x18 goes all the way through and gets a nut on it. That's the hardware we need. So see how that kind of looks like a washer? We want that flipped 180 degrees. We're not Loctiting this one because it gets a nut on the back side. So there's our 3x18 there. That goes through. And that goes there. Okay. Okay, we'll hold that. Give it a tighten there. All right, that's all together. Set that back off to one side. We'll bring this piece out. And let's attach these here. And what attaches these? Okay, following the lines, we get a 3x18 that goes through. We follow the line up and it goes through the outer hole and gets a lock nut on it. So we're taking run these through all the way. And we're going to put that on like that. Then we'll take this little nut. Run it down on there. Oh, started backing that out. That's bad. I'll hold that and give it up. Now, looking at the pieces I have left over, I think this might be a good time to put these together. And what holds these together? Let's see. Right here. 4x12 countersunk cap screws. Okay, that's together. Starting to look like something now, isn't it? Now let's look at what holds these together. We'll come out and follow that. Boom. A 3x18 goes through that, up through the rod end, and gets a 3mm lock nut. Okay, we got that together. All right, now it's time for the chassis assembly. So let's take that and we're gonna start putting stuff on it. Looks like we've already got the battery tie down hooks in it. We're not going to use the side bumpers because I checked and the Volkswagen body will not fit over them. It just rides up against the side of the chassis. Let's start with the ESC, and it's going to ride right back up here, and it's going to tie in with 3x15 screws, it says here. There's a 3x15 screw, I think. We'll double check. 3x15. Make sure we have 2 of them handy, and we do. Now let's get our 2mm X driver. We'll Drop our other 2.5 mil. Next up, we'll put our receiver box in. And it ties in with two 3x8s. So let's dig those out of our hardware pack here. Oh, one of them was still in it. We're going to run this wire.
After it comes out of there, let's go around and go through.
Okay. Now we're going to take our servo The picture on the steering servo shows that the axle goes to the rear of the car. So, it goes like that, evidently. And that is held on with 4 of those big-headed motor mount type screws. Okay.
I believe that has to go on first.
Okay, that's together. Now, we can put this big mama drum on. Only takes 4 screws. Let's see how big they are. Okay, those are 3x12s that hold the 3x12s go 3x12s in here. So let's find those. Put this upside down. Okay, we got to figure out what these two are supposed to be. So let's look here. Oh, there we go. Through the shock tower. Those are them. Those are also 3x12s. All right. So let's come up and go blue to blue. And we'll come through that hole and up and go yellow to yellow. Let's come through here, go white to white. All right, it's got all that together. Now, see what ties the front together. Let's see, front assembly. Oh, right there, 3x12s.
One of those found on our driver. Alright. Put that where it belongs. Tighten.
Add a tighten. Flip it over. Right there, 4x12. Those are big ones. Let's see what holds those on. One more of the 4x12 button heads and two 3x15s. So think? Okay. All right. Well, guess what, dudes? My dumb self looked at the picture wrong, and this servo's in backwards. So, out it comes. Okay. Now that's fixed. All right, guys. It was at this point that I had some IT troubles, and the last little bit of the assembly, well, it just flat got lost. But all we were missing was installing the servo horn, the drag link, and the 4 wheels and tires, because I wasn't going to show you the body on it yet. Anyway, that part I figure most folks could figure out on their own. But here's the completed car. The chassis is ready to go. All right, here we are outside with it in all its glory. Looky there, look how sharp and shiny everything is. Guys, this thing looks basically new. I mean, there's some wear on some of the plastics that got run into things, like the front bumper and the wheelie bar show a little bit of damage, but not much at all. It's got a 2S LiPo in it that's fully charged right now. And Fussy the cat's come to see us. But here we are. And let's see. Oh, the steering seems to work. Let's see about the gas. All right, that's about how much we're gonna do today, because I haven't learned to drive one-handed yet. I'll line up a cameraman and maybe, just maybe, a 3S battery to really give it a going over tomorrow or the next day. Whenever I get around to it, I'll do it as soon as possible. Anyway, if you learned a little something today, how about dropping me a like and maybe a subscription? If you didn't learn anything, well, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe anyway. If you have any questions, or if you think my videos are great or terrible, drop me a comment. I'll respond to every stinking one of them. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you next time on RC Restomod.